And you did look into options with your 401k, right?
Yes, I did. So I ended up receiving $8,000, not 800, from the OFA grant that we have here in Ohio. And so I used that. Prior to that, I had saved money and I thought I would use some of that for the down payment and possibly also use money for my 401k. You can take out a loan. And I did look into that. So I had a 401k from my prior employer, and I left that money invested there. And what I did was I called them and I asked them, you know, if I were to do take out a loan from this money, how would that work and that sort of thing. And from what I learned, what typically ends up happening is you can receive up to a certain amount of money. I think it's 10,000, and that is, you don't have to pay any tax on that because you'll be using it for the down payment. Now, if you were to take out more than that, you would have to pay taxes on a portion of that money.
Because it's like you're taking it out for no reason. So
yeah.
For a mortgage, it's like a qualified reason to actually take it out.
Exactly. No, I didn't use any of the money from the 401k. But I did look into it. That is an option for people who, if you have saved quite a bit of money in your 401k, and then the thing is, you do have to pay that money back to your 401k. So it's a loan. They don't just give you the money. You have to pay it back. And so that was my plan. Because at first I didn't think I'd be able to save that much. I just really didn't. Not on my original pay.
How much did you end up saving?
A little over 11,000.
Okay.
And
how much was the closing? Did we say how much the closing cost?
Yeah. It was just under 4,000.
Okay.
And so that is something to think about, that you will have to pay closing costs, because I did not know that. And that's quite a bit of money. And I think a lot of people, they save for the down payment, but they may not be aware that there are costs associated with the actual closing. Well, there are. So the down payment was around $5,000, $5,000 to $6,000. So they give you the $8,000 for the assistance, and some of it went to closing costs and some of it went to the actual down payment. And now I just remembered, it was like $6,200 went to the down payment on the house. So then there are closing costs. There are, like when you buy a car, how you have fees and stuff like that. The closing costs are fees. And sometimes there also includes taxes that you have to pay in advance for your home. So you have to pay those, and those are considered the closing costs, which is separate from the down payment. And so the money that I got from the grant, they took that money, went straight to $6,200 went to pay the down payment.
That's the OFA?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the remainder of that, which was it, $2,800, that went to the closing costs, to part of the closing costs. And then I still had to pay the amount that I had to pay.
Which was what?
Just under $4,000.
So OFA gave you a grant, but then you had to get approved for a loan through the bank for the house, the whole thing.
Correct.
And so the house was what, 120,000 or something?
It was more than that.
It was.
It was around $150,000. So then you subtract the $6,200 from that, and that is what my mortgage is based on.
Okay, and then how many years is it supposed to take you to pay it off?
30.
Okay.
So I'll be 60 something.
So you got approved through the bank, and so also you have been saying that you get like some type of tax cuts or something through your bank because of the area that you're living in.
No, I wasn't able to do that. So depending on where you're moving to, there's certain banks that may offer certain tax abatements. So Columbus has tax abatements for certain areas. Most of those areas you already have to have money to buy a house there. Just keeping it real. The area that I live in, the city that I moved into, that they have tax abatements here because they're trying to get more people moved to the community and buy homes. Many of the people that live in the community rent their homes. So there are neighborhoods that are really nice, and some homes a lot of homes are sort of small, but those are still beautiful homes, and they want more people to purchase them. So to make it easier for people to purchase a home, they have through I think 2 banks, there are they can get tax abatements if they get the loan through those banks. Now, I went through a lending company that looks for the best. They are able to use and utilize all the grants that are available. Not every bank will do that for you. If you bank with XYZ Bank, they may not help you at all. And you can't understand why. Why won't you? You can't understand why you can't get the grant. Because no one that's employed there who does mortgages at the branches is experienced with doing them. They take time. They like to get their money now. So they would like you to just get a regular loan, no grants, and they quickly close on this house so they can get their money. And there you go. So most people, unless you go through certain banks and a certain lender, a certain lending agent at a specific bank, you may miss out on those grants. And they warned us of that in the different, and you could say that maybe those people were trying to steer you towards using them. But one of the people was from an actual bank, and she did say that, she has experience. She said at our location, they have a lot of experience getting people the grants, making sure that all the paperwork is correct so that you can get the grant. A lot of times it takes a little bit of time if you're not good at doing the paperwork to get the grant. And therefore, the person selling the home doesn't want to be bothered because right now, people are selling their homes the next day, within a week sometimes, if not the same day that a house is listed, it could sell that day. So, that's that.
Okay, and then the only other thing that I wanted to talk about is you had also said, so I know you weren't able to do this, but you said that there are opportunities for people to get help if you're a first-time home buyer, but I think you couldn't do it because you made too much or something.
Well, the only one that I could qualify for is the OFA.
Okay, so OFA is a first-time home buyer.
Yeah, there's multiple different ones. If you are a teacher, if you're a firefighter, if you're a policeman.
Military. Well, is military separate?
It is separate.
Okay. Yeah, military people have their own little cut. So if you're in military, go ask your military people.
You need to, if you are in the military, what I would make sure that you do is make sure that they use your GI Bill. When my parents purchased their home, they did not make sure that my dad used his GI Bill. So I would just say be very forthright with knowing that you should use it, and say and make sure that that's in your paperwork. But no, there are a lot of, it depends on where you live. It depends on, there are certain parts of Columbus, at least, that if you purchase a home in those areas, it's not just I don't think you get a tax abatement in those areas, but you will get a special assistance if you move to those areas. So in home buying classes, they will go over all of that. And what's really important is each home buying class will be geared towards your state. So whatever is available in your state, they will let you know. So of course mine, they all talked about what was available here in Ohio.
Okay, so that was everything that I wanted to touch on. This is probably going to be the second part of the financial financial part of buying a home. Probably have to do 2 separate videos.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for sticking around for this second part. Each part has very important information and tips for you to follow or to look into and see which things will fit and work for you in your state. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you are hitting the subscribe button, because the advice piece on my channel is definitely going to be for everybody. I'm going to reach out to other people that have different life experiences than me to also give advice to everyone, so everyone can benefit. So subscribe, make sure you share, comment, let us know what you think, what you've experienced, and if you have any questions. And then also stay tuned and watch the other parts of these series, or go back and watch the first video. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you later.